Hello everyone, and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be sharing some top methodologies for identifying XSS vulnerabilities in bug bounty programs. Before we dive in, please remember to obtain full authorization before testing any websites, as this content is strictly for educational purposes. Now, let's jump into it. Okay, so let's start by looking at the website interface. As you can see, it's, a shopping site. So first, let's check the Woppalizer extension to understand the technology used on the website. Alright, you can see it's built on PHP with an Nginx server. To confirm, let's also use the WhatWeb tool. You see, we now have the full technology details, including versions. Since we know it's made with the PHP, which is, often vulnerable to various bugs, this gives us a starting point. Now, let's search for some text, just to see if any reflections occur so we can try manually testing for XSS. When I type coffin, it doesn't reflect on the page. But let's check the page source to see if it's reflected there. As you can see, the text is reflected in two places. Alright, now let's try a simple HTML injection, just something I usually start with. As expected, there's no reflection. So let's open the source page and check if there are any signs of, HTML rendering. You can see our HTML tags are present, so we probably need to close them to actually execute our script. Let's try adding those closing tags. And now you can see our text reflected in italic font, which confirms HTML injection. Now let's try an XSS payload, again, closing the tags like before. As you can see, we triggered an XSS cookie pop-up. Cool, right? Some cookies don't show on Brave browser, so let's try another browser. And as you can see, we got the full XSS cookie pop-up. Alright, now let's get into the main methodology for automating XSS detection. Just copy the site URL and input the following one-liner command. But before proceeding, let me explain these commands step by step. First, we use GAU, which, fetches old URLs from passive sources like Wayback URLs, Alien Vault, Common Crawl, and URL Scan. Then, I use a GF pattern to filter for URLs with parameters commonly vulnerable to XSS. After that, URL removes duplicate URLs, so only unique entries remain. Following that, GXS scans for URLs with parameters that reflect in the response, kind of similar to our earlier manual test. Next, XSS identifies URLs with unfiltered special characters, useful for XSS execution. Finally, I use T to save the output to a file and display it on the screen simultaneously. Just hit enter and wait a bit. And as you can see, we now have all URLs with reflected parameters and unfiltered characters. I'll pause the scan here to show you some URLs as a proof of concept, as the full scan would, take more time. Now, open the saved output. You can see the results, though they include some noisy entries. To, refine it, let's filter out the noisy stuff. Enter the following command, which, cleans up the output, showing URLs with XSS vulnerable parameter. Now, let's move these results to our LOXS tool folder. Now, just run the LOXS tool. Select option 4, enter the result file. Provide the payload file path, and press enter. So as you can see, it shows us an XSS vulnerable URL. Clicking on it, it triggers the XSS pop-up. Pretty cool, right? Let's confirm a few other URLs. Perfect, I'll show the XSS pop-up. I'll pause the scan with Ctrl+C to, demonstrate how it tests each URL parameter one by one. And as you can see, it's found XSS in another parameter. Let's test it. Perfect, it shows the XSS pop-up again. I'll pause once more to show it in another parameter, just as proof of concept. Now let's just wait and observe the terminal. Like seeing XSS cookie reflections on the terminal, reflecting what's like shown in the browser. So I'm pressing Ctrl+C again to stop the full scan, and we see it found like 23 vulnerable URLs. Let's save this as an HTML output file. Just open it in Chrome by typing the file name. As you can see, we have like a clean report with a user-friendly interface. Open these URLs one by one to check for, any false positives. As you can see, all URLs are correctly displayed the XSS pop-up, even with cookies. Just out of curiosity, since this site uses like PHP and Nginx server, I tested for spool injection. When using Gory, it failed to bypass filters. But like with spoolmap and some tamper scripts, I finally, bypassed the filters and retrieved the data. I won't show the full proof of concept here due to platform policies, but I've, shown you a banner and minimal details. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have a lot of exciting content on the way, so stay tuned. Catch you in the next video.